Hi, this is Tim at the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss a lovely 100th anniversary celebration of the Cartier tank. The original tank, created by Louis Cartier, debuted back in 1917 in the midst of the First World War. It was allegedly designed as a visual reference to the then new engine of destruction, the tank. In 1921, the tank Cintree entered production. We have here the Cintree Squelette in platinum. This is a 2017 release made in 100 pieces to celebrate a century of Cartier's most famous watch. So Cintree means arced or curved, and that's exactly what this is. In platinum, it has an arc and a curvature to it when viewed from the side. A difficult watch to describe, so I'll show it to you on my wrist, but let me give you the dimensions. 23 millimeters wide, 7.8 millimeters thick, and from lug to lug, 46.2 millimeters, with a 16 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw this watch on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. By no means consider this as a 23 millimeter watch. It does not wear that way. You can see it is broad, and the Cintree is beautifully curved, so it does arc across the wrist. But this is more like a 41 or a 42 millimeter round watch. This is a big timepiece. So guys, this is one for you. Ladies, we do offer a try before you buy. 7-day no questions asked return policy if you want to wear a watch on the wrist first before you decide to consummate the deal from the 1916 Company. So just keep that in mind. But this is a large watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. That said, it's also a thin watch, so it will slide under a dress cuff. A platinum Cartier tank should slide under a dress cuff. The strap is a standard 16 millimeters. That's an unusual size, so you're going to want to find a strap that will fit the watch if you want to go aftermarket, but it's not some sort of proprietary deal, so as long as the spacing is correct, it will work with these lugs. The strap is dark blue semi-gloss. It has large rectangular symmetrical scale alligator leather, which in combination, those features always mean a good cut of the animal. There is some bolstering close to the lug or stuffing to give it volume. It has a monotone stitch, a folded edge, and calfskin lined on the bottom. You can see that it is a Cartier factory strap in very nice condition, and that the watch includes a white gold clasp. And so that's the only unusual bit with this watch. Cartier uses white gold for the same reason most brands do, which is that it is mechanically stronger than any other gold and platinum. So on a platinum watch, you will get a white gold clasp from JLC, from Cartier, from some others. But you could see that the white gold has been rhodium plated to give it a blinding white tone that perfectly matches the platinum. You can also see that this is a twin trigger release system. So this is more secure than your traditional Cartier clasp and also more expensive to make. The twin trigger system ensuring that it will, above all, stay fixed on the wrist. Taking a quick look, you can see how this system works. It's a little bit different than a traditional Cartier clasp because it does have individual perforations, but quite a few of them, so you can fine-tune the fit. And the idea here is that once closed, the extra sized length goes underneath the strap. There's no need for minder loops. These are minder loops. This watch doesn't need them. That's a consequence of the clasp, which is based on the design created by Louis Cartier back in 1909, when it was undoubtedly the first deployant clasp ever created for a wristwatch. We've got a sapphire cabochon on a crown with a beaded profile. The case features lateral screws, its assembly being so thin that the screws are generally on the reverse side to hold the case together. There are case back screws, but the flanking screws are a distinctive part of the construction of this case, and they have been for a long time. We have both polish and satin. In platinum, it's a weighty watch, despite not being large physically. It's got a satisfying heft to it. Now, if you take a look at the dial, you can see between the barrel and the balance, we have a little bit of an arc, not just the case and the crystal, but the movement itself. So bevel gears are used to conduct the energy from the barrel down to the escapement. This is a skeletonized movement, or at least open wrought, it would be called, and the degree of decoration is to a much higher standard than a conventional Cartier watch, partly because so much is visible from the dial, partly because the price point of this watch, which was $80,000 new, the degree of the finishing is much higher. The balance beats away at 4 Hz, and you can see the use of Edicron for fine adjustment of timing and beat error. The watch has a manual wind 60-hour power reserve. We'll flip it to the back so you can see the reverse side of the movement. It is a 21 jewel movement. And you can see the curvature of the components from the reverse side as well. This is manufactured caliber 9917, designed and built to Cartier's La Chaux de Fonds manufacture. The standard here is very high. All of this is considered to be not water resistant due to the extraordinarily thin and cambered profile of the case. Cartier requests quite reasonably that you not soak this watch. You can see as you wind it, the action. The barrel is open, so the closer the mainspring is to the center axis of the barrel, the more tightly wound it is. And in time, you'll be able to use that as a sort of informal power reserve. You can see the motion works in action and the blued broadsword style hands. One of Cartier's finest, most exquisite, and most exclusive watches of the modern era and all time. The movement is huge. It's designed for the case. That's the difference. When Cartier is a full integrated manufacturer. So this movement is only 19.6 millimeters wide, but it's 33.75 millimeters long and slim at 3.84 millimeters thick. So there is a lot to love here. An extravagantly designed, finished, and assembled timepiece from a company that now is almost neck and neck with Rolex in status, stature, volume, and turnover in Switzerland. It's no longer Rolex and Omega. It's now Rolex and Cartier. And this is an example of the type of watch Cartier will do, but Rolex never will. That makes this company special, and this watch very special. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.